Howdy y'all, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May God's peace and blessings be with you, inshallah. Today I'm going to talk about something very basic, yet something very profound, and something that a lot of us in Islam might take for granted. What first attracted me to religion, and this is at a formal base, because I always kind of was curious about God and so on, but you can only do so much at 4 or 5. But later on, when I was maybe like 10, the fact that they would put Bible verses on the front of the church, like these banners, and I would see it was a verse, whatever. And when I first found out that you could literally find what's in there on the Bible, on any Bible, for the most part in general. But I thought that was the most amazing thing back then, because coming from the poster boy of disbelievers type of father, everything is about money, everything is about greed. If curses religious people, no matter what religion, everybody has their own Bible, everybody writes their own Bible, that's what he says. Everybody writes their own scripture, so what's the point of even listening? So when I first realized that you could take a verse and tell somebody else that verse, and they could pull out their book and find it there, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. In hindsight, in terms of the Bible, that is a very general aspect that we see this, because some Bibles have 66 books, others have either 71 or 72. It's irrelevant. If I'm wrong, I'm probably wrong. It might be 70, but that's not the point. I can already see Christian Prince and his soldiers here. But so some have 66, some have 71, 72, something like that. And then not only that, but apparently some are missing some verses. And then the one that has 72, the Psalms, for example, the Psalms which they attribute to David, the book of Psalms, like the Bible that has 72 or 71, whatever it is, books, the Psalms is off. Like Psalms 22 in that one is actually Psalms 23 in this one. In general, for the most part, you can kind of find a verse and tell somebody else the verse, and it might be a little bit off. In rare occasions, it may not be there. It's rare, but some Bibles have taken out verses. But in general, you can tell somebody a Bible verse, and no matter what translation they have, it ultimately comes out to say the same thing. And that's one thing that I admit, there's a lot of the people that, if they want to attack the Bible, they say, well, you have 1,000 different Bibles and none of them say the same thing. That's not necessarily correct. They generally, for the most part, say the same thing. Behold the Noble Quran. So in the Noble Quran, I've never bought a Quran, by the way. When I first converted to Islam, the friend that answered the questions I had, gifted me the first one, and this is not this one, the other one's red, and it's this one, you can see it's bent a little bit. I'll tell you why here in a second. But so he gave me that one, and then as soon as I converted/reverted, and another friend gave me one with the English translation, and then this one was given to me by a taxi driver in Cairo, who was very moved by my conversion/reversion story, and he gave it to me. So this was in a taxi cab, God knows for how long, on the dash. That's why it's bent a little bit slightly, but I've never bought a Quran. Anytime I handle the Quran, I wash my hands. I'll be sure to be completely clean, clean clothes, recently bathed and hands washed, teeth, everything. So that's how That's how holy I deem it. The difference between this and the Bible is not they can tell you, look on this book, that verse. Every single Quran, whether it's small like this, green small, or my other one is bigger and red, they can tell you any verse, any book, any verse is going to read the same exact thing, letter for letter, to the stroke of the pen. Subhanallah. And it's a miracle that it's been kept like this for 1400 years. Subhanallah. MashaAllah. Now, this goes even more precise. My disbelieving father just lied to me, like, there's a Bible verse and I can take any Bible and it says what it says. I was amazed, but now this goes way beyond that. This here, subhanallah, you don't even have to say the chapter. Every single Quran, mashallah, no matter how big, how small, what color the book cover of it is, no matter what color the bookmark, some are yellow, some are green, they all have the same content by page. So you don't even have to tell me it's book, surah, whatever, verse, whatever. You can simply just say, you'll find it on page 66, the 5th verse, and every page, 66, 5th verse, is going to read exactly alike, no matter where you got your Quran from, no matter how old one is, no matter how new the other one is. All of them are identical, subhanallah. I've ran into some people that, there's this guy here who claims to be a revert / convert to Islam. He runs a channel called Islam USA, and he denies that. He's like, no, there's 20 different versions. One is the Cairo version, one is the, and I don't know exactly what he's referring to. I've researched versions of Quran. I only find one. Now, if he's talking about, I don't know what can he be talking about. They're all exactly the same. Maybe he's talking about, Bismillah, he's talking about the green on that one doesn't match the green on that one's bigger. It has to be because, Bismillah, there is no other difference in it. It's identical in terms of content by page. With that, I'll leave y'all. Assalamu alaikum.
ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين